We talking about the whole thing.
They're not winning this shit, bro.
That's why I got Auburn.
I got
Sorry,
Auburn too.
I
I
got
got Auburn
Florida.
too.
I got
But
Florida.
Auburn ain't gonna win.
I got Florida. What am I talking about?
Duke's not winning this shit, bro.
You know who do you have? Are we recording? Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Duke winning this.
You got Duke.
I ain't gonna lie, bro.
I don't know. I got Duke losing in like the Elite 8 or something like that, or Final Four.
Duke's not losing the game.
I'm falling for that freshman stuff. I'm falling for the freshman.
That's what I was falling for, bro. I said that on air, bro.
Kind of thing. Like I'm
I
falling
feel
for
like
that.
what's bro name?
Who?
From where?
I'm tripping. That's just one of my guys. I'm talking about what's bro name.
BJ?
Tyrese Proctor. If Tyrese Proctor keeps shooting like that, it's up, bro. It's up. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, yeah, they're a great 3-point shooting team, but still, I don't know. I think Texas Tech's really good, and they got Arkansas, which you could say what you want about Arkansas, but I think if you're looking at the teams, you'd be fine playing Arkansas. Tennessee and Kentucky both look fine. I mean, a lot of SEC teams look good. I don't know. I think Florida's got a fine path right now. Like I'm Florida. I'm kind of loving life.
Texas Tech cool, but them niggas be up and down. Them niggas.
I mean,
defense be up and down.
Even better for Florida, because Florida is a deeper team than Maryland is. They should be able to make some work of that. Then you get whatever happens there, and then whatever happens up and like on top of you. If Auburn drops it, if Michigan pushes out, if State pushes out, if Ole Miss goes on a run.
Do you see I'm winning the group? Max, I'm winning the group.
Yeah, I put the shitty bracket in that one. I should have put my.
Right.
What's your biggest bracket? What's your most points?
I only have one bracket. It's I have 96.71 percentage, and I have 510 points right now.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I have been cooking.
Anyways, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Debate Room podcast. It's been a long time no see, but we are back. It's just a lot of stuff that was going on. Well, yeah, we did miss a lot of topics while we were gone. So, yeah, but we are back. What's going on with y'all, Latif, Q, and Max?
Hey, man. Yeah, we've been going for a long time. It's been a crazy 3 weeks. We tried to record episodes for sure. It just has been hard to like get everybody on the same page. I think so. First weekend of March, I went to St. Louis for our conference tournament. We made it to the championship game and unfortunately lost to Drake, who won the game in the NCAA tournament. Shout out them.
Now their whole team's in Iowa.
Shout out them, man. Shout out them because I mean, they obviously beat us, but if a team in the MVC wins a NCAA tournament game, it helps the whole conference. So shout out them. And then the next week after that, the first week I had a conference for like awards, and I won some awards for some of my stories. Second week it was the conference tournament.
He's trying to flex there a little bit. He's trying to flex all his awards.
What can I say? But then the week after that was my birthday. So y'all go wish me happy birthday, man. I appreciate it. Turned 21 last week. So man, it's been a crazy 3 weeks for me, but I'm ready to get back. Since our basketball season is over, I should be locked in on NBA draft, NFL draft. NBA season is going to wrap up pretty soon here, so I'm super locked in. We have went a long time without creating content, so we got to hit the road, running, whatever you know what I'm trying to say. But also, school is ending too. We're going to have like a month and a half left of school, so we'll be ending school, and our third year of college will be done.
We seniors, bro. That's insane.
Yeah, shit nuts. But we're gonna try to finish the school year strong, and then finish this NBA season, NFL draft season pretty strong too. So I'm ready to get back to it, man. I'm about to create a lot of content. So that's me.
Yeah, kind of with me, I would probably say it's the same thing. Just been busy with school. I think we had midterms like a week or two ago, and then I was busy over spring break, but it probably wasn't as chaotic. I shouldn't even say chaotic, but as busy as Latif's. But yeah, I'm ready to get back into the swing of things, get back to our normal schedule. So I don't know about you and
Q, what's been on with you?
I think you're doing something.
Yeah, I feel like it's our spring breaks. I feel like all lined up differently, so we were all trying to do our own things and try and get on everyone's schedules. Everyone had plans, so I feel like it was a break, semi needed a little bit, just kind of get off of it for a second and kind of take away a little bit from making all the videos, making all the content and stuff. Obviously on the team side, he was still doing stuff. Obviously, Q still working. I was still working. Like Jaden still working. Like we're all doing stuff on the side. But it's just like as far as making content, it's nice to take a little break. No, I've been glued to March though. That's about it. So we got a game on Friday. Jaden's still been talking shit on my team, which is fine. I've showed nothing but support for Illinois. I have not Illinois in the slightest, but yet you still want to just hate on my team for whatever, and that's fine. That is perfectly fine. But
Bro, it's probably the most college basketball I've watched in the tournament for like a minute, bro.
It's fun. It's the best time of the year. Best time of the year.
But anyways, let's just get into the topic. So the Bulls have went on. I shouldn't say have went on. They're 8-2 in their last 10. Josh Giddey has been hoping. Latif, I want to start with you because you're a known Giddey hater on this podcast. So can you just talk about him and then just the totality of the team? Coby White has been on a tear as well. So can you just outline what's been making the Bulls successful? And do you think that this is just a trend? Like, do you think this is something that they can keep up?
My general thoughts on the Bulls is like what the Bulls are doing right now, what Josh Giddey is doing right now, what Coby White is doing right now. It's cool. It's fun. It gives the Chicago Bulls fans something to be happy about, but I wouldn't be happy about it because they should be tanking. They are still in this spot where they are hovering around a play-in spot and not being bad enough to actually change their franchise around. Unless the lottery blesses them, they're going to miss out on a Cooper Flag or a Dylan Harper or any of the other great prospects at the top of this draft class because they want to compete for a playing spot. Like, that makes no type of sense at all. And this run by Josh Giddey, it doesn't move me like whatsoever. On a serious team that competes throughout the whole entire year, Josh Giddey is not a good player on that type of team. On a team like this, that's a play-in team, a team that's not going to go very far, Josh Giddey can be one of the best players. He can lead the offense, I guess. But no, this is unserious. It's March basketball. Teams are limping into the playoffs. They aren't playing as hard as they usually do throughout the middle of the season. And that's why we see all of these April, March scoring runs. We see like during this time of the season, we see like the most random shit happen. Obi Toppin had 34 points on like 7-8 from 3 the other night. This is the type of time period where we see 50-point games from Malachi Flynn and Sadiq Bey and shit. Like this is that time period of the NBA season, and it happens every single year. It's unserious basketball. The Bulls being 8-2 in their last 10 games is super, super detrimental to the franchise. It's nothing good about it at all, to be honest. You are not. This is not how you build a contender. You don't sit in mediocrity, and that's where they've been forever. They did the right thing and traded Zach Lavine, but they didn't tank. And then they're probably going to pay Josh Giddey way more than he deserves this offseason. That's what's going to happen coming from this run. And that's going to be the nail in the coffin for this franchise for the next like 3 years because committing money to Josh Giddey and a Coby White backcourt, insane. It's insane. Josh Giddey has had a positive impact on the Bulls offense. He's also taken a 3-point leap this year as well. I'm not saying he's been bad this year, but on a good team, he's not a good player. I just can't see it happening. His defense is too bad. His scoring is too bad. His shooting historically is too bad. So yeah, I mean, I'm not being a Josh Giddey hater. I'm keeping it 100. This recent stretch from Josh Giddey is going to be very, very detrimental for the Bulls, especially if it convinces them to give him $25+ million a year. That's a disaster. They should sell high on Coby White while they can. Because, again, a Coby White and Josh Giddey backcourt is not taking you anywhere. But Matis has looked pretty good recently. So that is the only part of this run that is actually good for the Bulls. Because Matis, I think, can be a building block of a contending team in Chicago. But they're just winning games for no reason. Like you're making your chances at a Cooper Flag, a Dylan Harper, a lot worse by winning this game. It's pretty simple. If anybody else has a other argument besides that they shouldn't be winning games, I would be very curious to hear that.
I was going to add a second thing onto what you were saying. When you were saying like this, Josh Giddey couldn't contribute this to a winning basketball team. Like, sure, Josh Giddey might have gotten like semi better as a player, like technicality wise, skill wise, whatever. We saw him not work in OKC last year, right? We saw him not work out because in a perfect world, Josh Giddey is not your primary ball handler, right? Josh Giddey plays off ball. He's a second option of some sort, which maybe comes off the bench, but it's just like his contract that he's going to get mixed with his overall play style and what we saw in OKC with how he couldn't play in that high-powered offense with a player like Shea, with a player like J-Dub. Like, again, I think Chicago has some of those. Like, Coby White is a good basketball player. I think selling high on him, I think it'd be interesting to keep going forward, but it's like, yeah, it's going to keep you in that spot of mediocrity where, again, I think ever since Jordan left, the Bulls were really bad immediately after and then have kind of bounced around in the past 5, 7, 8, 9 years in that same little area. Since kind of the D Rose peak days were over. So they need to figure out a way to get out of here, though.
Yeah. As somebody who was like I wouldn't call myself a diehard Bulls fan, but after that Derrick Rose and the whole Jimmy Butler, D Wade, Rondo, that playoff push, it kind of got dark after there. Antonio Blakeney, high school legend. But seeing him go out there, Wendell, Felicio, seeing that team, it was terrible. And it was terrible for all of the Bulls fans out there. And then you get a Zach Lavine who, I think he tore his ACL the year before he came, and he turned out to be an all-star caliber player. And then you get DeMar, and then you get Lonzo. Like, I don't want to say it changed the city, but it had a whole different outlook. The Bulls had a whole different outlook. So I think they were pretty scared of going back to that time of just terrible basketball, terrible ticket sales. But it needs to be done. I would say this run from Coby White has been good the past 2 years. But again, like you said, Latif, this run happened again at the same time for Coby White. He's been really good this season, but he's been on a tear of these past 10 games, and this happened last season too. But, yeah, I agree with everything you said, Latif. It kind of blows my mind that we're this comfortable with being mediocre, and we've been saying this the whole time throughout this podcast history. So, yeah, I'm in full agreement, man. We need to start losing some games and give ourselves a chance.
It's too late, bro. It's over. Y'all are making the play-in. Y'all are going for the play-in.
They are the best playing team. They are the only playing team. They are the playing team to me.
Let's look at the standings real quick because there's probably low-key no way y'all can actually
Hold on a sec. Q, what you got?
That said everything. Giddey not doing nothing we never seen him do before. The Bulls not doing nothing we ain't never seen them do before, which is be mediocre, but we're still gonna sell out the stadium. Granted, the price is not that crazy, but they're fine. They've been doing this forever. Before Jordan, after Jordan, before D Rose, after D Rose, like it's the same cycle all the time. They could have, if you wanted to sell high on Coby White, you could have did that at the trade deadline. Orlando was calling for him. Y'all should have gave him up. I don't think putting all your money into these guards is the right thing to do. They can make the plan as long as they don't win the plan and make the playoffs. They can still get a lot. They're still going to get a lottery pick. Obviously, it's not going to be a top 3 pick, which I definitely need, but it's still something. But it's just total mismanagement from the front office.
That's kind of what Chicago's sports and
I feel like
the Raptors. Well, no, y'all are 7 games ahead of the Raptors, who are the 11th seed. So it's literally impossible for y'all not to be in the play-in.
I feel like it's just. I mean, I know we all talk about especially these big time draft prospects, right? Wemby or Zion, kind of like when they come out, the NBA wouldn't put them here, wouldn't put them there. Like, you got to assume the NBA wants to put someone in Chicago, right? I think in this kind of year, if you're bad enough, there's a great chance that you can get Cooper Flagg next year. You can get AJ DeBanza, Darren Peterson, whoever you want. There's a good chance that
easy though. All leagues want Chicago to be good.
That's right.
Every league, that's a major. It's a major city. It's a major media hub. They
all
just
is that the NBA seems like they might have done it before, right? They get a little shift because they might do it in the past, and it looks really obvious. So
maybe, but they're combating dumb front offices at all times. Like the Bears organization, dumb front office. Chicago Bulls, notoriously dumb front office. is you can't change that at the top. You would have to force the owners out or force them to sell just to have them make right decisions. But that's probably never going to happen no time.
Reinsdorf and
Well, Reinsdorf wants to sell the White Sox.
yeah,
He wants to keep the Bulls, so we'll see.
I can't believe we started this episode with the Bulls, bro. Low key, like that's.
I mean, they're honestly the most like interesting thing at this moment. Just this weird little spurt, but I mean, it is the most Bulls thing to do after being bad all year to just be good enough to push yourself into the play-in and then lose, and then that's your season.
Yeah, no. To be honest, it's an annoying cycle.
Yeah. Josh Giddey gonna lead them to like the 12th pick, 10th pick, nice.
13th or 14th. I feel like it's.
I feel like it's always like 7 or some stupid shit. Anyways, Kings are 3-7 in their last 10. So Zach Lavine.
Opposite side.
Latif, Max.
Yeah. I mean, it's the opposite side of the trade.
No.
Oh, whoa, brother.
Go ahead, one of y'all.
I can't lie. Like, I think, again, I don't think any of us was very high on this trade coming into the situation. I know there were Kings fans that were kind of like, oh, you were high on the trade?
I wasn't high, but I wasn't down on it. They were stuck in. They did what they had to do. But
I think a lot of Kings fans were like, oh, we lost De'Aaron Fox, but we got back a productive scorer in Zach Lavine and whatever. It's just like, I think you screwed this team when you paired DeMar up with everyone. Like, it's just play styles just don't match. And I think when you put DeMar and Lavine and you just try it in a different situation, like it's not like it's going to work because you have Domantas Sabonis. Because again, we all think Sabonis is a great basketball player, right? Sabonis is a very, very good player, but he can be hard to play next to in different situations, right? He is not the most easy person to play. He's not a plug and play kind of guy offensively. I think Zach Lavine, his first couple of games, I thought he played pretty well, right? He like went off for a couple of games. Did he not have like 30 his like first game or two?
It's the opposite.
Anyways.
He started off bad and became good.
I feel like I saw him light the beam after like a 35-point performance, so maybe I was off. But I just think that this team just, again, Sacramento's trying to throw a bunch of good to mediocre players together and hope something sticks, but they have no defense. They don't have a leader on that team like they had with De'Aaron Fox. Like, they just don't have pieces right now. So, I don't think this team, especially in a loaded West, like, this team's not doing anything. I'm not surprised they go on the skid right now, like switching coaches. There's just so much turnover in Sacramento that I think the best course of action is to, again, try and blow it up. But what are you realistically getting for Domantas? You're probably not getting anything for DeMar. Malik Monk's probably your guy with the second most value. So it really turns the situation into like, how do you rebuild or how do you kind of retool from here? Because again, I think you're almost in a worse situation than a team like Chicago. Chicago has an easy way to get bad. It's just a matter if they're going to do it or not. Sacramento is just in a very weird spot where unless they sell assets off for dirt cheap, like their trajectory is just very, very confusing. But
they were playing well, and then Sabonis got hurt. And in the little notes with the top of the list, it shouldn't be a regret trading for Lavine. They would have been in the same spot anyway if they had De'Aaron Fox. They would have been playing the exact same way. You swap out De'Aaron Fox, who didn't want to be there because you fired Mike Brown and whatever. You just slide in Zach Lavine, who the Bulls didn't want anymore. You get pretty much the same level of player. It's fine. They started to win games. Sabonis went down. They went on the skid. Like, he literally just came back. You could probably still get up with Sabonis. If they trade him right now, he's probably still going for 2 first-round picks at least. That's an all-NBA player. That's just whatever you think of him doesn't really matter. Like, the league is going to value him as a great rebounder, very good playmaker, starting to shoot the ball. He can do a lot of things. Obviously, he's not a great defensive player, but that doesn't really matter in terms of like his value. Again, they were stuck in a place where they had no choice. They get Zach Lavine. He's not going to be there for that long on that contract. He probably got like a year or two left on that money, and then they could just wash their hands. Sabonis already asking what the future is. If that's the case, you could trade him off. Eventually, you could get rid of DeMar because you ain't really like lose much for him trying to trade for him. Zach Lavine, whatever comes from that, and then you can start all over. They don't want to start all over because it's hard to be a bad team and then be good for a little bit, get the fans some hope, and then go back to be horrible. So obviously they want to stay somewhat relevant, but sometimes you just got to take your pills when you get them. But I don't think they regret trading for Lavine. They were just in a hard place because they had to trade Fox, and he handicapped them by saying he wanted to go to the Spurs. So they probably could have got more for him, but since he did all that, it was just it's here or nowhere.
The Kings had the perfect opportunity to rebuild their franchise and set their future up when they traded De'Aaron Fox, but instead they committed to being mid. They committed to mediocrity, and I guess they wanted to keep the fans in the stadium, but or the arena, but like it didn't take a genius to know that Domantas Sabonis, Malik Monk, DeMar DeRozan, and Zach Lavine wasn't going to be a good team. Like they basically just did a lateral move. So when that trade happened, I think I gave it a D or F. I think I got some pushback on that because I think KD said that they accomplished their goal of staying competitive. They're not competitive. I mean, they're a play-in, or I guess they are a competitive play-in team, I guess. But like the Bulls, they are in the worst spot you can be in the NBA, and that's not good enough to compete for a championship, but not bad enough to get a franchise-changing talent in this draft. It's super simple. Like it doesn't take a genius to build a team as far as like a direction to go. It doesn't. It don't really take a genius. Like, why? Why would you just sit here in mediocrity? I guess you got to consider like, the fans, but I don't know. It's just
no. That's what you have to do. I mean, money is the driving force of everything.
This is a business.
Well, for a team like the Bulls, they're going to struggle out anyways. The Bulls are. That is true. What are you talking about? The Bulls have the highest attendance every single year, and
they're gonna sell out no matter what. They always sell out there.
Chicago fans always.
Bro, I swear before Lavine and
no, the
they
Chicago
always
among the highest attendance literally every year.
I mean, but they were doing like obviously everybody does like promos because I've been to the games where like
the ticket. Nobody's saying the tickets are like everybody's paying $20 to get into the Bulls arena. That's not what's happening, but they are selling out tickets selling out seats every single night. The NBA is a business though, so like making sure the fans are in the seats is always should be at the top of your list no matter what. Winning still comes with that, but the other part is there. So obviously, making sure the fans still come to the games matter.
Yeah, and also I don't know how Zach Lavine his market wasn't even the best like the first time you traded him. But I would look to trade Zach. I mean, he doesn't fit on the team. I would look to trade Sabonis because you can't have Sabonis as your center and win a championship. I would look to trade Monk because his value at his contract is really good, and his value is probably at his highest. DeMar DeRozan, I'll probably just let that expire. But, Kings, not a great team. Don't have a head coach. Their future is very, very bleak. Like it's not bright in the slightest at all, actually. So
it's just kind of sad how like things were looking on an up and up. What was that? 3 years ago? And now it's just all right. So now it's just like terrible. I mean, you have Lavine, but then you bring DeMar in. Just stylistically, it's terrible. It didn't work out with the Bulls.
NBA moves fast, man. A couple bad moves, you're done.
The reason why I pushed back on you giving them an F or a D, whatever you gave them, is that they had no other option. The moment a player they say they want to go to a specific team, that handicaps all trade value. They weren't going to get back no value if they tried to trade him to somewhere else. If he didn't come out and say he wanted to go to the Spurs, they probably could have got more from somebody else. He wanted to go to the Spurs. That tanks all trade value.
Why did they have to trade for Zach Lavine though? Like no,
they didn't. They just got back a player. They lost a player and gained back a similar level of player just to stay relevant. They didn't want to trade Fox.
That's my point. Like the direction of them staying in mediocrity. I don't care. Like trade them to San Antonio, whatever. That's cool.
Yeah, but you grading them. You giving that grade based off a whole nother situation that had nothing to do with the trade itself. They did not want to trade Fox. They traded Fox because he asked to be traded to a specific spot. If they were trying to stay in this media, which they were clearly, they wanted to stay slightly competitive, which they were. They wanted to stay that even with Fox. He didn't want to be there. Okay, you gonna go here, and we're gonna just bring back this player that still wants to be that the other team didn't want. And we're gonna still be competitive. Like they never wanted to trade Fox. They were just forced to do that. Their plan was to stay mediocre. I'm not gonna give them a bad grade on a trade based off parameters that had nothing to do with the trade at all. You know what I'm saying? Them as an organization, you give them a D. The trade is not a D.
I don't necessarily know if things like that should be considered outside of the trade because I think the direction of the franchise is heavily impacted by a trade, and so if that trade changes the direction of the franchise or keeps it in a direction that's middling, then that's why I gave it F. Pretty much. Well, I didn't give it an F. I think I gave it a D or something like that. I don't remember what I gave. I probably gave it a C. I don't really remember, but I know I started at D.
If the direction was to rebuild, trading Fox at that moment in time wasn't going to further push that. It wasn't going to help that because they weren't going to get.
They got 2 seconds from him, right?
Yeah, and that was just a here give me damn because the Spurs like, oh, he coming to us anyway. We don't got to offer you much. They let go a whole nonsense just to get in Fox. They really fleeced both teams. They fleeced the Bulls again, and then they fleeced the Kings.
No, the Bulls got Kevin Huerter, bro.
Okay.
My bad, super fleeced.
I don't want to talk too much about the Kings, man. It's the Kings, man.
All right.
I can't lie. It's a bad video to come back to. Our first 3 topics are the Kings and the Bulls.
It's March, bro.
Cavs,
Matter in the NBA.
I'm talking about the madness.
Cavs fell on hard times. I believe they lost 4 or 5.
Hard times is crazy. We won
Four
16
games, man. They
Y'all
stink.
beat the Jazz. Yeah, y'all lost 4 in a row. All right, Latif, just go. This is your team. So
I'm not really concerned about the Cavs' struggles as of late. I mean, they lost 14 games. Well, we won 16 games in a row. I'm not going to get mad about a 4-game losing streak. I'm not going to overreact. Donovan Mitchell has been in a slump all of March. He's not going into the playoffs on a hot streak, which is a bit concerning. But this team is going to make the ECF. I mean, I'm pretty sure of that. Anything other than that is a catastrophic failure. But I'm pretty sure that they're much better than the other teams in the East. Really, the Knicks can't fuck with the Cavs. The Bucks, we'll get to why they can't fuck with the Cavs later, but they never could anyways. This team is not going to be the Celtics though. I mean, I've been pretty I knew that already. Like that's not something that's.
You did switch up on that originally. You were in the past. In the past, was he not saying that? Yeah, the Cavs go toe to toe. I think they can get.
No,
am I crazy?
No,
I don't remember that. I'm not gonna say I did. I'm not gonna.
I could have sworn we had conversations like, yeah, Boston's won and Latif was fighting for the Cavs.
Is Porzingis healthy right now?
No, and it doesn't matter.
He's in and out of lineup, but
yeah,
I don't think that has really anything to do with health, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, the Cavs are a great team. I'm not really worried about this recent slump at all. The whole thing is they're not going to beat the Celtics. They're just not. They don't match up well with them. They have 2 small guards that can get hunted. They don't really have a matchup for Jason Tatum at all. And if Porzingis is healthy, it's definitely not really that much of a series. I think it'll go 6, maybe go 7, but I have no.
That's a series.
Yeah, sure, but it's like there's no doubt in my mind that the Celtics are going to the finals, and they haven't even looked at the best this year at all.
They don't need to.
Haven't looked the best this year at all. But they're just they're basketball purity. They have one of the best rosters from top to bottom in NBA history, as far as like a philosophy. As far as even coaching,
you said the best.
I said one of the
best.
What is one of the? What is like one of the? Like, give me a number on it.
They probably have a top 5 roster.
Yeah, I'm out here. Cut it out.
What rosters? Well, I mean, Golden State is one team, so I was counting the whole thing.
Think about the team. Think about all of NBA history. Think about the Magic Lakers. Think about the Bird Celtics. Think about the Shaggy. The Tim Duncan.
They've dominated like in the regular season, especially last year. As far as net rating wise, they were one of the. We're gonna do like relative to area. Last year, that team was like one of the best we've ever seen, for sure. You want to just do like Hall of Famers to Hall of Famers? I mean, sure, but it's like
not even just rosters, but roster to roster.
Like who?
Roster to roster. If you take any of those Lakers or Celtics teams, you take any of those Spurs teams, take that Golden State team, those match up pretty well. And there's many iterations of those specific teams. There was,
I mean, sure, but like those, like the players now are better than them. That's why I want. That's why I want to do it relative to era because the players now are better than them. Like,
oh yeah, I know that.
You know what I'm saying? So
Like,
relative to era though, like they were like, let's see,
but we overvalue
highest
like
net rating.
Tatum. You got Tatum and Brown. The drop off. Like Drew Holiday is not some top 35 player. Derek White, not some top 35 player. Kristaps barely. Horford is not. Sam Howell ain't nowhere near.
KP last year was top 35, and I think they like 5 top 50 players, bro.
After that, it's a drop off. Like the Celtics are top heavy. After those first 6, it's a huge drop off.
They had the fifth highest net rating in NBA history last year. I'm pretty fine saying that's one of the best teams we've ever seen. They dominated the playoffs without one of their best players missing the whole entire time. They were head and shoulders above the rest of the NBA. So relative to the NBA, they are definitely one of the 5 best teams I think we've ever seen.
If you're going to use that context, use the context of the teams that they faced in the playoffs that were all missing something.
What about all year though? It wasn't just the playoffs; it was all year. They dominated all year.
We've seen many teams rattle off a bunch of wins through the regular season. Like that's all cool and dandy.
All the teams that they would have faced, they would have beat every single team in the playoffs, even healthy. And I'm pretty confident saying that they're head and shoulders better than the rest of the NBA. At least last year. I think the Thunder are a lot closer than they were last year. But yeah, the Celtics are they're just head and shoulders better than the rest of the NBA. They have 5 players on all times that can hurt you from 3. They have multiple players that can drive the ball to the rim. They have a whole bunch of roster malleability. Like they can do so many things. They're pretty much like the Rockets, the Maury Rockets on steroids with much better defensive personnel, but that same ideology of just jacking up threes. So that's I think they're I mean, saying they're a top 5 team, like I would say so probably. Their competition, 2016 Spurs. I'm
picking probably the 2019 Warriors team. I think that team healthy. Obviously 73-9 Warriors, 72-10 Bulls, the Showtime Lakers, Kobe and Shaq Lakers.
Is that 5 teams?
I'm not gonna point it out. I think this Boston. I think these last 2 Boston teams are definitely up there. Am I gonna say top 5? I don't know. I haven't thought about it that much, but I think they're definitely up there. I think they're one of the best.
Yeah, they are. I mean, by the numbers, they for sure are. I mean, if you want to go like personnel wise, I mean, sure, but I don't think we should do it like that. I think we should do like relative to their dominance in the league they were in, because I'm pretty confident that the players now today are better than, like, Jaylen Brown is better than Kevin McHale. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, he is. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I mean, relative to the era, McHale is better, yes, but basketball has advanced so far that am I picking Jason Tatum over Larry Bird? Fuck no. Like, I mean, Larry Bird over Jason Tatum? No, I'm just not personally. Like, as far as like, you know what I'm trying to say. You're
talking about skill and not greatness, correct?
Yes. I'm talking about skill. Larry Bird was really, really skilled. I'm saying though, relative to his era, obviously Larry Bird clears Tatum. Yes, but as far as how much basketball has advanced now.
Yeah, I think Bird clears Tatum. Relative to era, I think Bird.
This is Tatum.
Yeah.
No, I think the Cavs are. I think the Cavs are fine. They started off the season great. Obviously, the CV highlighted the 16-game win streak. I don't think 4 games is something to be worried about. Donovan Mitchell, this hasn't been like the greatest season from Donovan Mitchell, but this team is constructed very well. I think they have players step up. But yeah, the Celtics are ultimately just gonna kill. I don't even want to say kill, but they're.
You say sweep them?
No. The Celtics are obviously gonna get the Cavs gone, but yeah, compared to the East, the Cavs are fine. I can see them going to the Eastern Conference Finals for sure. I don't think the Knicks. I don't know, bro, but the Knicks just aren't great against good teams. So I don't know. I really don't know. I think that'll be a good series if they do end up meeting each other. But yeah, no.
The Cavs are cooked. Season's over. 4-game losing streak is done. I feel like it doesn't really mean much except they lost the 1 seed in the league. That's it. The Thunder overtook that 1 seed. They're 59 wins. The Cavs are 57 wins. I would just want to see the Cavs and the Thunder match up for the simple aspect of like the elite role players versus the elite role players on both of those squads. Obviously, Boston has their own, but watching like the Ty Jeromes and Max Strus and whoever like go up against all the guys OKC has, I think that'd be a game in and of itself. But the Cavs are fine. But again, there's levels to this. Boston, Cleveland, there's just levels of the East for sure that I think separate them so far apart.
I still think they fine. People making too much about the 4-game win streak. It's a broken clock gonna be right twice a day. Like you could say, I don't believe in them, I don't believe in them, I don't believe in them, and then as soon as they lose, like, see, I told you so. That's really what's going on. It's not really too much. Like it's a whole body of work that we've seen all year. Like it's the same players, but they clearly got better scheme, different coaching is different. Like this is just a way better team. Whether they beat the Celtics or not, that's yet to be seen. What we're gonna see when we get there, and we're most likely gonna get there. But until then, we gotta evaluate what we're seeing right now. I mean, they're still a great team. Still gonna win like 65 plus games, so it doesn't really matter.
All right. Jaden, I don't know where Jaden went, but I'll move it on. The Bucks suffered a really big blow today. Damian Lillard is out indefinitely with a blood clot. I'm thinking his either leg or calf area. So he is probably going to be out for the rest of the season. I saw a sports doctor say that it's usually around 3 months for recovery, and they'll most likely put him out for the entire of the season. Where do the Bucks go from here, Q?
Pretty much, I think you got to blow it up. I'm not gonna lie. Trey Giannis or whatever. Obviously, you can still get a mega haul for him. The top out there in the world. Trade off Dame because Dame not gonna want to be there if Giannis there. You don't even shouldn't want Dame there if Giannis not there. Between those two, you could probably get I'd probably say at least 6 draft picks, possibly 2 coming up in this draft. See what you could do from there and just start over. Send him where Giannis want to go to, somewhere he could compete. Because I mean, that's just one of your best players in franchise history, probably your best. I'd probably say second. Dame, it was an experiment. You tried to shake things up and it didn't work. That's cool. I'm not a fan of like teams sticking around and holding on to things when they see it's not working. I think you should pivot. The moment you know it's not going to work, you should pivot. So that's just what we have to do. It's sad for Dame. He went through a lot. Finally bounced back a little bit this year. The team just not good enough. Doc Rivers not good enough. They had a skid the last couple games. A couple bad comments from Doc. A bunch of players meetings about and everything. A lot of conflicting reports and interviews and things like that. Press conferences. Talking in late February, early March that you should kind of have things buttoned up right now. It's been basically 2 years. And nobody's on the same page. I think you just got to wash your hands of the situation. Thank Giannis for what he did for your franchise in the city. I guess thank Dame for whatever he did, whatever, and just wash your hands with this whole situation.
Max, what are you thinking?
I mean, this is like overall, I think this will go down as one of like the most. I think people will call it a failure, and I think you got to look a little deeper sometime because again, roster construction is very flawed of this team. Age is an issue, defense is an issue. But again, like this injury just sucks. Like we didn't get to see Giannis play in the playoffs last year. Giannis was injured versus Indiana, and now we don't get to see Dame play in the playoffs this year. We never. Again, let's say they blow it up this year. Let's say they don't. It really doesn't matter. I think as they get older, I don't know what moves Milwaukee can really make to put this team in contention. They moved off Chris Middleton's contract. You get Kyle Kuzma. He doesn't have value. So I don't know what moves you're making along the margins to really put yourself above Cleveland or Boston or anyone out west. So I think that like for the people who look back and said like, oh, Dame and Giannis were on a team, like how did they get it done? Again, there's so many more other factors in this. as far as why they fired Adrian Griffin to hiring Doc Rivers. Like, there's so many more aspects of the coaching changes and everything else. So this team it's sad to see that it didn't work out. I would have loved to see a fully healthy Dame and Giannis in the playoffs. I think they could have got the job done versus Indiana last year. And with the way that Indiana pushed all the way to the ECF, I think maybe they could push the ECF and they can maybe push Boston a little farther than Indiana did. Do they win? Probably not. But maybe you get a great Giannis and Dame performance. And that's just, again, not something we ever are really going to get to see in this league. So it's unfortunate. Milwaukee took a swing to go get Damian Lillard. And again, some people will say it failed because inadvertently it gave Drew Holiday to Boston. And they got their ring off of it. They tried to keep Giannis around, keep him happy for a little bit longer. But I think this divorce is just bound to happen eventually when Giannis wants to go to a bigger market.
I agree with you guys. Giannis's prime has been very, very. It's been wasted, and it's not like Giannis's prime has been wasted by the Bucks as far as making incompetent moves, as far as the draft and making trades like Kyle Kuzma and signing. What's dude's name? He's an abuser. I don't know how he's in the league. What is his name? KJ.
Kevin Porter Jr.
Okay, yeah. Making moves like trading for Kuzma and signing KPJ and drafting terribly. And in hindsight, the Dame trade.
KPJ for him.
Yeah, it's the Bucks have done a terrible job managing Giannis's prime, and they have also just got really, really unlucky with injury. Giannis has missed games in the playoffs. A lot of them. Dame has missed games in the playoffs. Chris Middleton missed time in the playoffs. I think it's just time to wash their hands with this pairing. He was a Milwaukee great. He brought a championship for the first time since 1971. He'll get a statue. He'll be a Hall of Famer. He'll eat free in Milwaukee for the rest of his life. But while he is still in his prime, and I say this quietly, declining athletically, it's probably about time to move him to a different team while you can get as much value as you can, because Giannis is not as good as he was defensively, and even though he has taken a step offensively, it's probably going downhill from here in the next 3-4 years because he's really relying on athleticism. So, yeah, that's the whole take on it.
I think you're being disingenuous using like the Kyle Kuzma, like the latest moves I think that's being real disingenuous. They did not draft well at all.
No, they did.
You know what I'm saying? That's just the draft is the most hit or miss thing like in the world. Like, especially if you drafting sub 20s every time, it's hard to just be hitting on late first round picks, late second round picks all the time. That's just like hard to do. The era, like the whole like these great players winning 2, 3, 4 championships is probably over. That's never gonna happen again without having a true team with 4 no doubt Hall of Famers on it. Like, that's just not gonna happen. The league is too talented that the fact like every team that you're going up against, any good team that you're going up against, is gonna have two all-stars / 2 all-NBA level players, and probably like a third or fourth that probably could make an all-star game or 2 every other year, like how Boston is right now. It's just the league is too like you were saying, the league is just too talented now. So the wasting of the prime is like, yeah, you can say that it's a harder era to play in, and players are just better. It's going to be hard to just be trying to be a championship contender all the time. Like I said it back when like the Nuggets had just won. I didn't think they were going to repeat because we only see that happen with like top 10 all-time players. Like these players that's playing out aren't top 10 all-time players. Like you're not going to see like the Bucks. You're not going to see these great dynasties anymore. It's just not watered down, but just too talented. The fact that you might be lucky just to get one. If the Celtics, like if the Boston Celtics and Tatum, if they don't win more than 2 championships, I'm not going to be surprised. Like if they don't win another championship, I'm not going to be surprised, just because again the league is just too talented.
I would be surprised. I think their window is closing pretty soon because, I mean,
contracts.
Kristaps Porzingis is injury prone as hell. He's a negative asset down there at this point. Drew Holiday is falling off. He's getting older. Jaylen Brown. So yeah.
Jaylen Brown what?
Jaylen Brown is cool, but I would definitely move off of him, to be honest. He's making the most money in the NBA for no reason.
Yeah, but if you move off of Jaylen Brown, you have to ensure that you're getting back an all-star level player and some type of asset to help you get another all-star level player. Because everybody that they put money into, their money pretty much is done in the next 2 to 3 years. If not, they're retiring. Drew Holiday is gone next year. Al Horford gone after this year. You're going to have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. You're going to have to find some way to build around them, but you ain't got the assets to build around them for the next 3 years at least. Sam Hauser and Luke Cornett ain't getting it done in 2026. I promise you that.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what they get. I wouldn't say like move Jaylen Brown for sure. Like he's that bad of a problem. I'm saying like if something comes up that's enticing, he's not untouchable by any stretch of the imagination.
No, I'm not. He's untouchable unless you're Rob Pelinka. Like, you feel me? Then yeah, nah, he's untouchable. But you got to come to him like a top 15 player. Like Jaylen Brown's probably like top 25-ish. You feel me? You got to get. He's top 25. Stop it. You gotta get like a top 20 player for Jaylen Brown or somebody that's gonna be a top 20 player for. Like I'd trade Jaylen Brown right now for the first round pick. I swear to God.
First overall pick.
Yeah, I mean, first overall.
Yes.
What
do you think about it at all?
I'm not gonna twice. I
Who
swear.
would be better than Jaylen Brown in year two? I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm just saying.
I'm not gonna say that, but overall,
let's just say. No, not the Wizards because they wouldn't do it, but like random team, whatever. If they don't think Cooper Flag going to be better than Jaylen Brown within the next 3-4 years, which they probably don't, they're going to trade him. And now you got Jason Tatum and Cooper Flag on a team. Next year you just cleared $60 million worth of space. That's
fine.
3 starting level players or 2 all-star adjacent level players, and then you're back to competing. And Jason Tatum again, he's 27. That's great age. You got 7 years of one way of him just playing all NBA ball. So
I agree. The cap is a whole other issue. Like, but the play, whatever, you're gonna drop off for a little bit. But the cap is the huge relief, right? You don't gotta pay that good of a player that much money. Like you open up, crazy.
It's gonna be hard initially, but after that, it's gonna get easier and easier because now you have more maneuverability.
And Cooper Flag ceiling is obviously Cooper Flag ceiling. All right, let's see what's next.
The Rockets have risen back up to the second seed. Jalen Green is having another good stretch of games, and they look like they could be dangerous in the playoffs. I mean, I thought we had this conversation a few times this season.
I was gonna say, can I start?
What do we think the Rockets? What do we think the Rockets ceiling is come playoff time?
Yeah, they can win a game or two depending on their matchup. Maybe push to 7, but like I really think they're gonna push their first round of 5 or 6 games, get a lot of experience, and then you'll move on to the next year. Like I think that's all they need right now is just you got to build up some experience and keep going. I honestly don't think that they have a roster right now that's going to contend with a healthy team of their same caliber, right? They don't have the star power that the Lakers do, that Denver does, that OKC does, that Minnesota does. They don't have that. So they need to figure out a way to develop more players, let Amin get a bigger role, Şengün, whatever it is, you got to start developing these guys more and more into superstars. Get that number 1 option wherever you can.
Yeah, they're a year and a star player away. That's it. It's cool. Great story. They accomplished what they accomplished. Going out in the first round is no slouch. I understand as a second seed team, once you get into the playoffs, expectations change. My expectations are not going to change for this team. I wouldn't care if they were the first seed, to be honest. They just not there yet. Like it's just not there yet.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, their half-court offense is terrible, and you need a really good half-court offense to sustain success in the playoffs. I'm still skeptical of a Şengün anchored defense come playoff time, and they just don't have enough shooting or shot creation on perimeter to actually win the playoff series. It depends on the matchup, though. I mean, I'm trying to think of any matchup I think they can win. Maybe the Grizzlies.
It'd be the Suns if they somehow find a way to make it up into the 7.
Let's see. Okay, so they're the second seed.
It's
Do they beat the Clippers? I'm gonna say no. If Kawhi is healthy, no. If he's not, they can beat them. Yes.
The Clippers, I think they have the best chance of beating the Clippers.
Yeah, they can beat the Clippers if Kawhi is not healthy. But if he is healthy, they're gonna lose. They will lose also to Minnesota. That's the only two teams I can see getting the 7th seed, to be honest. Unless they move down to 3rd seed, I really don't know. They're on a hot streak right now.
They smart. If they really cared about winning a series, they try to move down to 3. That'd be probably their best.
Nah, Golden State would beat them.
I mean, where's Memphis at? Memphis is 5th.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they'd have to move down to the 4. But
yeah, Golden State would also
because the Lakers rather be 2nd. I think. I don't know, but I don't expect them to win, so it doesn't really matter.
I added another topic. I want to talk about the Suns down the 4-game win streak.
No, I don't want to talk about the Phoenix Suns anymore until this team is exploded. Like, I want this team to explode up.
You'll be mad. They cook over the season.
Max, you have some trivia.
So I have 2 different trivias. One is really, really easy, so we could just run through it quick, or we don't even have to do it. It has to do with Final Fours. You guys will run through it very, very fast.
Okay.
Give me the top 10 teams to make the most Final Fours as it is March Madness. So we have 2 teams who are tied for 8th. We have 2 teams who are tied for 6th. And you have 2 teams who are tied for 3rd. So with that, you still have your 10 teams, though. So give me the top 10 teams, preferably in order, if you guys can get it in order, of Final Fours. So you want to start with 10 or you want to start with 1? We'll start with 1.
You want to do it in order?
Ideally, it's so easy. Just you can rattle off your names, but it's so easy.
Most?
Yes, most Final Four appearances
Duke.
in NCAA.
Duke.
Yeah, Duke is not number 1, buddy. Good try though. Duke is tied for 3 with 17.
Oh, most Final Fours, you said?
Yes, most Final Fours.
You said Duke is tied for what?
Tied for 3rd, 17.
So they tied with who? UNC?
Nope.
Kentucky.
UNC's 1 with 21. Duke is tied with Kentucky with 17.
Yeah. UCLA.
Yes. There you go, is 2 with 18. So you got top 4. Another layup. Kansas is 5. Kansas has 15.
What's the next number?
10.
Not Villanova.
You got 10, then you got 8, and then you got 1 with 7. Villanova is not on the list, no.
Oh yeah.
Villanova's not on the list. That's very shocking. UConn.
UConn is 10 with 7.
Okay.
Indiana.
Yeah. That's where you got to learn the history, man. History of college basketball.
Indiana's
an original blue blood, not anymore though at all. Indiana's tied for 8th with 8.
5 for 8. Louisville
is tied for 8th with 8.
How many teams is there? Only 10 or no?
2 more. So you got 10 was UConn, 9 and 8 are Indiana and Louisville, both with 8. You don't have 7 and 6. Then 5 Kansas, 4 and 3 are Kentucky and Duke. 2 is UCLA, 1 is UNC.
Michigan State.
Michigan, yeah, good. Michigan State's tied for 6th. Thank you with 10. Thank you very much.
Okay.
1 team left.
Conference.
MSU is tied for 6th. Yeah, you guys are disrespecting the Big Ten heavy. You guys are not respecting the Big Ten the slightest.
You said tied for 6?
MSU is tied for 6th, yes, with 10. And they're tied with this team is tied with us.
Big Ten teams. I'm not blanking on Big Ten teams.
Q, this is probably gonna be you. They made it a couple times early 2000s.
You said UConn.
Big Ten.
Oh, that's what I was asking. You said Big Ten.
I said you guys are disrespecting the Big Ten heavy. I thought you'd take that as a clue.
They've been in the Big Ten type shit.
Yep, they've been in the Big Ten. That's why they're in the Big Ten.
No, I'm saying they could have just joined, bro.
Yeah, it's not Oregon, Washington, or USC.
Michigan.
Nope, not Michigan.
All right, give me a region. Like, what would it?
The Midwest is just the Midwest is the Big Ten. This should be easy. You guys, this should come to your head. It should be, I think, one of two teams, maybe three. But think about, I don't know how to really describe it, but
Purdue?
nope, that's one I would assume. I would assume Purdue, Wisconsin, and this team. It's not Wisconsin.
Yeah, I don't. Like, there's no way U of I is in there, so no. And Iowa.
No. They had an insane They had an insane team in like what was it?
Ohio State.
Thank you, Ohio State.
The
Greg Oden, Mike Conley teams. All right, my other one. I am going to give you guys a year and a team. I'm going to give you guys an upset. You guys need to tell me which team upset this seed. You guys got that? How's your knowledge of NCAA basketball upsets? Good.
Let's do it.
So again, we'll start off with the layup. So do you guys want to guess what team they beat or what team upset? Huh?
How many teams is it?
I got 7.
Okay.
Do you want to guess the team they beat or the team that won the game?
Team that won the game.
So you want to guess Cinderella. All right.
Wait. Which one is harder?
Huh?
Which one is harder? The team they beat?
The team that wins is harder.
I was just going to give you guys a layup though to start out with. Who beat number 1 seed Virginia? What 16 seed upset number 1 seed Virginia?
I forgot her name. I felt like was it like a green team? Like I feel like I'm thinking about somebody else.
Yikes! This is a bad start.
Virginia. That was the year with like Kyle Guy in them. That year.
That was the year before they won the national title.
Yeah.
Geez, do you not know this one?
There
you go.
Is it? It's like UM? No, you're not.
Yep. Two more letters.
B.
One more.
UMBC.
There you go. UMBC.
Okay, yeah. That was crazy.
We go. Got the first one.
I forgot about that. Them. Yeah.
All right.
That's it though.
Huh?
It was like 7 years ago, right?
I told you. I tell you, I'm gonna give you a layup first. In 2021, the 2-seeded Ohio State Buckeyes fell to what 15 seed?
I have no idea. You said 2021?
Yes, they had a star point guard who transferred the year after this, or 2 years after. I don't know. To Texas.
Oh, or Roberts.
Yeah.
I thought it would help it out.
Yeah, that's I know this.
That's Max Adams, dude. Yeah.
In 2016, number 2 seeded Michigan State fell to this 15 seed.
2016
gives me nightmares to this day.
I just saw this too.
Mm-hmm.
You said 20. You said what? You said they upset who?
Michigan State.
You said 2016?
2016.
Middle Tennessee.
Boom. Then the last of the 15 seeds. Again, this is a very, very, very iconic one. We have Missouri, the number 2 seeded Missouri falls to this 15 seed.
When the hell was Missouri number 2?
In 2015. 2012. My fault. 2012. I was looking at the wrong one. In 2012. Huge upset, but the 15 seed actually had a future NBA veteran journeyman on their team.
Journeyman.
Journeyman center, journeyman big man.
What year was Florida Gulf Coast?
That's 2016. Sorry, 2013. I keep looking at the wrong ones. 2013.
2012.
Georgetown. Missouri in 2012. Who upset the number 2 seed Missouri in 2012? How many teams this guy played for?
So only
I don't even know if you came from a mid-major.
in 2012 was.
Wait, is it Journeyman Robert Covington or no?
No.
Too early. Okay, I mean,
You're along the same lines, I think.
Is it Lehigh?
Nope, not Lehigh.
Oh no, that's CJ McCollum.
That's good thing is
I'm like, are you sure? I'm last one. Like, you talking about?
think of a journeyman. Think of a journeyman who's been again on a lot of teams. Think of a lot of teams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Damn, he's been.
Is it Norfolk?
Yes, Norfolk State. Damn, Kylo Quinn's out the. He's been out the league.
Who the fuck is Kyle Quinn?
From the Knicks. He played.
Kylo Quinn. He bounced around only 4 teams. I thought it was so many more. He bounced around.
His last real like when he was in.
I had no idea he played overseas for the last 5 years. I thought he was still bouncing around somewhere. All right. Another very, very, very memorable one for me. In 2015, Baylor was a 14 seed and got upset by the 3 seed. Or sorry, they were a 3 seed and got upset by the 14 seed. Who was that 14 seed in 2015?
That don't sound familiar.
2015 upset Baylor.
There was an iconic moment that happened with their coach.
I don't remember that shit. I ain't gonna lie. That was 11 years ago. So the upset teams like Middle Tennessee State, FGCU. Who else was like Oral Roberts, St. Peter's? That's just coming to my mind. Who else is upset teams?
And they upset at who?
They upset Baylor. Baylor was a 3 seed and got upset by this 14 seed with a father-son coach and point guard duo.
Georgia State. There you go.
Speaking of son,
future Boston Celtic.
Richard Pitino's coaching Xavier.
Yeah.
I mean, thought he was with Villanova.
Both in the Big East. Oh my gosh, I feel like that'd be worse. I feel like it'd be so much worse. Like as far as like rivalry goes. But all right, last one. In 2014, Duke was upset by this 14 seed.
I just saw this because I think it happened like one year it happened. They went to Elite Eight, and the next year they went. They got upset. I forgot who it was though.
If it means anything to you.
Damn, I just literally saw this. I literally saw this because they were comparing it to like Cal losing his upsets, and then how it was talked about differently when Coach K did it.
If it means anything to you, they always. Yeah, I was gonna say they have a weird game with Alabama. They have a weird football game. They play Alabama football in like week 14. It's so dumb.
Yes. I'm fucking
a little bit of March Madness history.
All right. Let's go do it for the episode. It's pretty late. I gotta write an article and do some other stuff, man. But we're gonna get back to it, man. I promise you, a lot of videos coming. Stay tuned. Keep rocking with us. Sorry for taking so long. If anyone made it this far, but we're gonna be back because we're passionate about this thing. So that's it though. That was episode 136, I believe. We are out. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, and follow us on our social media platforms up at the top of the screen.